Well, welcome to the G.I. Joe New News Classified Reviews. My name is David T. Allen, or if you would like, Super Dave 817. If you would like to see more of this content, please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification button for future videos. Thank you and enjoy.
Hello, welcome to another episode of the G.I. Joe New News Classified Review. I am David Allen, or if you like, Super Dave. Hello, and thank you everybody in the chat for joining me today. We are talking 60th Anniversary Action Soldier, which I really like these beautiful paintings that are on here. They look really, really nice on these figures. They did a really good job. It's kind of like a otherworldly like watercolor type painting. It looks really, really good. I really enjoy it. So we're going to go into the 60th Anniversary Action Soldier. First, we've got to go back to a little bit of the history of the Action Soldier. They were in comics in the 60s after the original G.I. Joe was created in 1964. And they had two comics. And they had in the vintage, I should say, original G.I. Joe, they had things like the sailor, the fighter pilot, the soldier, the action marine, the action soldier, the action sailor. And so we have been covering these as we've been going along. And they were basically military soldiers that they had lots of different equipment for each of these factions. Whew, bless me, sorry. And so the action soldier had a lot of gear, the action marine had a lot of gear, and paratrooper and pilot had a lot of gear. And so now we've gotten to the action soldier, and he had a lot of gear as well. Then they pivoted obviously to Adventure Team, and then in 82 we got to A Real American Hero. And so in the 90s they wanted to showcase the anniversary of G.I. Joe, which at that point in 94 was the 30th anniversary. So they did this line of G.I. Joes, and it's the G.I. Joe 1964 to 1994 commemorative collection. And this is the Action Soldier, U.S. Army Infantry. And it says it includes a shooting bazooka and battle bunker. And they have this beautiful gold embossed packaging and beautiful artwork there. It doesn't say who the artists that's on these are, but then it opens up inside and you get the figure and you get all of his accessories and gear, and he comes with a little bitty bunker there. So then let's read what it says in here. Says the Action Soldier history. In 1964, G.I. Joe seized the gung-ho spirit of youths across America with the original G.I. Joe Action Soldier. This fully posable army figure appearing with the now famous battle scar that hinted at G.I. Joe's secret past featured authentically styled fatigues, metal dog tags, army cap, boots, and a G.I. Joe Army Field Training Manual. Accessory sets were soon available to equip the Action Soldier, including the popular Green Beret Machine Gun Outpost 1966 that included numerous accessories, battle weapons, and two camouflage outfits. Also available in the 1967, a West Point cadet style directly from actual cadet outfits. Set style directly from actual cadet outfits. By the end of the decade, G.I. Joe had members from every branch of the United States military, as well as representatives from many foreign armed forces. Other G.I. Joe adventure teams were developed to expand the G.I. Joe theater of operations and help defend the world from a variety of villains. These teams laid the groundwork for today's heroes. Ooh, bless me again. Of military might as they continue the fight for freedom and injustice around the world, battling the evil forces of Cobra with unrelenting determination. Now, this commemorative Action Soldier, holy cow, excuse me again, bless me again. Army figure has been deployed to celebrate 30th anniversary of G.I. Joe. This real American hero represents G.I. Joe's original action soldier and the adventurous spirit of exciting missions. This po- this fully posable figure includes specialized commemorative weapons and accessories for added action and collectability. G.I. Joe, a true American legend. Um, and they are numbered as well. So each one has a number on the bottom there for the collectability. And then we can go over to the back of the package, and it has a cross sell of all the figures. We are doing the Action Soldier now. We've already done the Action Sailor and the Action Pilot. So our next one will be Action Marine. That'll be our last 60th anniversary figure. And then we'll go into Legacy after that. In 1964, America was introduced to the very first G.I. Joe. 30 years later, G.I. Joe continues to fill children with an exciting sense of adventure and fun, which is all we at Hasbro ever wanted to do. Around the world, we salute Joe in this 30th, and may this legend continue to bring endless hours of joy to the young and the young at heart for another 30 years. And that brings us to G.I. Joe's 60th anniversary. And so there's a file card, the Action Soldier, U.S. Army Infantry. It says, my first years in the Army were extremely valuable as they served as the foundation upon which my G.I. Joe career would be built. Every G.I. Joe worth his weight in ammo received training at one of the USA military branches. Although no training can replace field experience when it comes to raw combat. When the shells start exploding and the bullets start to fly, you better know how to react with split-second reflexes. As a G.I. Joe, you not only learn when to stand and fight, but when to take cover as well. The Action Soldier. It says 30th anniversary salute to G.I. Joe 1964-1994 celebrates 30 years of real American heroes with these fully posable 3 3/4 Joes that proudly represent the 4 branches of the United States Armed Forces. Each detailed figure includes specialized weapons and accessories. So that is your Action Soldier for the vintage line. Let's see if he'll stay there like that. Hopefully he will. There. Maybe not. There, yeah. Okay. So then we have the 60th anniversary Action Soldier. Again, we have the QR code and the target artwork and a cross of the figure here a little bit. And then on the back, we have a beautiful painting, photography artwork by Shooting the Galaxy, Matt and Alex. A couple of call outs on the package of what's in this figure, what's included with this figure. It's really interesting. They have a tent back there. They have a looks like a 50 cal gun that came with Roadblock, the Ma Deuce back there. And then he's in some sort of Iraqi type desert or whatever back there. It's some hills and stuff like that. It looks very interesting. So the Action Soldier Infantry, it says on here. And then you have the loadout on the front of the package. Very, very cool. He comes with lots of stuff. And then you see the little bit of that artwork on the side again. And 60th anniversary Action Soldier Infantry call out on the package. So let's get him opened up. This is the third of the 60th anniversary and legacy figures that we're doing. We have been opening these figures up since the very beginning, from 00 Snake Eyes on up through, I think we're on 129, and we've done I think 17 vintage package, and now 3 anniversary and legacy figures. So there you go. So we have the 60th anniversary from 1964 to 2024 on the interior of the package. We'll put that aside. Put that down there. And let's see. Let me see. He's supposed to have a stand. His stand is in here. I left his stand in there. So we have a cool brown stand with the the stars and stripes on it, and then we also have the get it the legal and gobbledygook and indicia there. So we'll put that back again. So, yeah. Then we'll put that back down there. There. So we have his stand. We'll put his stand over here for now. So we'll pull this figure out first. Excuse that noise. So let's see. What do we have here? So right off the bat, he has something different that we've never seen. We have that cloth goods kind of cover that goes over him. Can't remember the name of what those are. Ghillie suit, cloth ghillie suit type thing. It has like a little bitty pocket in the front of it. The ghillie suit has a little pocket so you can put stuff in there. I don't know if you can see that pocket. Yeah, so it has a flap and a little pocket that you can put stuff in that ghillie suit if you got to get to it quickly. And then he has this hood that goes over his head. It's like a brown hood. And then he has a balaclava head underneath there. You can see with those eyes, very intent and serious eyes. So we're going to take that off for the time being. There, take the balaclava or that head off, and we'll take the ghillie suit off for the time being because I want to showcase some of the stuff that's underneath. So we'll put the ghillie suit over here. We'll probably put the ghillie suit back on later. So we have the secondary. So this looks like a very Iraqi type soldier, like he's right out of the Gulf War or Iraq or whatever, the war on freedom up in the 2000s. He's got a lot of little plugs that you can plug stuff into. Plug there, a couple of plugs on the front, a couple of plugs on the back there, another plug on that side as well. He's got a secondary holster on his right leg, another holster on his left legs with a little pouch. He's got a secondary belt that has a bunch of little pluggable spots on it, some pouches, some ammo, a canteen on the back. He's got a little deco in the secondary with that flashlight and that little thing there, which is like, I guess it's a temperature gauge, because that looks like something that came with Doc, this secondary. Very simple. Now the deco on this camouflage is very Iraqi. It's got some beige, some browns, all khaki. He's got the brown boots that matches all the secondaries. He's got some lighter brown on his gloves with that allows his fingers to be a little bit seen through there, through the gloves. It looks like this is maybe the Stalker body. It looks very similar to the Stalker body to me. And then he has a different balaclava color on there that's a little different, beige. Hello, Clement. Thanks for joining us today. So there's a lot of different deco going on with this figure. There's a lot of different color balancing. Again, like I've said before, the Hasbro team has done a really, really good job with the paint apps. There's also a couple of tampos. You can probably barely see them on there because of the way that they're on there, but there's a couple of tampos right there on the arm. And then there's a little bitty tampo on that arm too. It looks like an arrow of some sort there. So let's get into some of these the gear. So he has a different head. He comes with an African head. So if you wanted to switch ethnicities, you could. So he comes with two heads. Put that over there. Then we have the Modus. It's basically the same Modus that we've seen with Roblox, and I think Rock and Roll maybe had that one as well. And then it has the bullet strap on there that goes into it with some deco, some gold and some green deco on that. So we'll put that in there because it's going to go through here. So there you go. So we'll put that over there temporarily. So then we have the holster for the Maudus. That's this. Different deco as well, color-wise, from the Roadblock one that we've shown before. So it has a little bitty swivel pluggable thing that goes there. Then you can put that in there, and then it could be set up for a slot in the wilderness for him to do what he needs to do. So there you go. And then also, this was pluggable on the back of the Roadblock. So I don't know if it's pluggable on this guy or not, but we'll find out. So then you have his backpack. Looks like this is the same backpack that Spirit had. So it's very similar to his. Obviously, the deco is the brown deco that matches a lot of the secondaries, and it matches this hood. So they've kept all those deco hits similar. So I'm going to plug that into the backpack there for now, just for the time being. So kind of looks like that. Put him back down. And then he comes with another huge gun with a weapons cartridge on it with bullets, with some deco hits on it. Some green and gold, and has that swivel thing that helps, if I can get it out, that holds this up. So if he wants to shoot somebody from a distance, has this little thing. We've seen this several times in the line with different characters as well. This little thing here, there, and it has a green handle there, a little brown on there, lots of cool detail. So we'll put that over there as well. So then we have a Shamak, a brown Shamak there that you can put on him. And I'll probably put that on him because he probably needs that. So I'll put that there because he's in like an Iraqi or Gulf type desert there. So I'll put that there. And then he also has a helmet. So this is a helmet we've seen 3 or 4 different times. They've redecorated it a few different times. This is the browns and the khaki colors that has been included with this figure. They just changed it, and it's the airborne helmet that we've seen several times. So we're probably not going to use, well, maybe we will use it. I don't know. Let's see what it looks like. There. So you can still use the balaclava and the Shamak on there with that helmet. So it looks pretty good. Then he has dog tags. So the dog tags, I'm going to have to take some of these things off to put the dog tags on because it will not go over the head. So you have to try to fit that on there like that. There. So that's his dog tags. Then I'll put the Shamak back on. There. So the dog tags are underneath the Shamak. And I'll put the helmet back on. So there you go. So we have all those on there. Looks pretty good. Looks like he's a traditional soldier. Looks like a realistic soldier. So then we have this little thing, which I think was with the Roadblock. I'm not sure if it's a shocker or something, but I don't know what it is. I've not seen this other than that Tiger Force Roblox had it, and I don't know what it does. It doesn't plug into anything. It doesn't go anywhere. So I don't know exactly what it is. I'll have to do some research to find out what it is. He then also has this gun, which is probably the gun I might use with him. I'm not sure. We've seen that. It has that green little doodad there. Again, another stand for him that's in different color deco for this. We've seen this gun a couple times. It looks pretty good in that color. So we'll put that over here. And then we have a weapons cartridge, a green weapons cartridge there. So that probably goes into that gun there. Like that. Yeah, it does. Lone Dragon, good morning, Super Dave. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining us again. I missed this figure. You missed the Action Soldier, Lone Dragon. They're pretty common. I think you can get them like at Ollie's or Ross or whatever those places that a lot of people have been getting them at. They weren't difficult to find, and they weren't that expensive. It was not a hard figure. There might even be some on Hasbro Pulse if I'm not mistaken, but I'm not 100% on that. So then we have a remote control with a antenna brown with a little doodad. So we're going to plug that into one of his holes on his belt. So we have a little hole there. I'm going to put that in there. And then we have a revolver, a bit of a darker brown revolver there. I'm going to put that into the holster on the right leg. He's really cool. This is a really cool figure. It's very, very reminiscent of the real military, which I love these 60th anniversaries for that reason. So then he has a bunch of different modular pouches that can be plugged onto his body in different places. So we're going to play around with a lot of these, and we're going to see where we can put them all and see if I can get them all on the body. I'm going to put the package over there temporary. We have one other thing to get off of there. So let's see. We have there's a little pouch on this. There's a little hole on this side. So I'm going to put maybe this pouch there. No, it's too big. So that's only for small things. So let's see. Where can we put? We got 4 pouches that we can put on him. Maybe we can put one on the side here. No, that's looks like it's too big. All right, I got it in there. So I got that pouch in there, and then we have another pouch. We're going to try to put this one in the front because it has the stars and stripes on it. See that one? It has the stars and stripes on there, Tampo. So we're going to try to put that one in the front, like right there. No, doesn't want to go in that one. So we'll go up here. Let's see if it'll go up there. Yeah, it goes up in the top one. So that means the bottom one needs to be a smaller one. So we're going to go with this smaller one. We'll see if that fits there. No, that doesn't fit there. So I guess we'll have to put it on the right side. See if we can get it in there. Yep, it fits in there. So we'll turn it this way. So that leaves us with this big one. And I don't know if that's going to fit in there or not, but we will try it. There. So it looks like I've got all the pouches on him. Let's see. Lone Dragon. I only have the Halo and the Firefighter. I want the Soldier and the Sniper. I can pass on the Diver at this point. Ah, I see. Okay. So I have all those pouches on there. We all collect differently, Lone Dragon. Everybody has to pick and choose what they want. I know you get a lot of stuff, so it makes sense that you would have to cut back somewhere, and that makes sense. The divers, it's an interesting one with the diver because we do have a lot of diver type things. We got ketchup and mustard, we got torpedo, we got wetsuit. So it's kind of like the 60th anniversary diver is almost redundant unless you put somebody else's head on it, like a shipwreck head or somebody else that was kind of a water type character, but isn't in a diving suit. So you could do something like that, the shipwreck or somebody else in that. You could, if you're playing out the mass device scenario in a diorama or photography artwork or whatever, you could maybe put somebody else that was in that scene in that diver costume. So that's the cool thing about the classified line, the modularity about it. And look at all the stuff that this guy comes with, and he's very modular with all these pouches and gear and everything. So then we have one more pouch. Let's see, where can this pouch go? We have a hole on the side here, but I don't think this is going to go. It's too big to go in that one on the side. So I think that's going to be one pouch we're not going to be able to get out in there. Well, actually, no. Now that I think about it, there's an extra plug on the back, in the back of the back, below where the backpack goes. So if you look at there's two plugs, one's for the backpack, and then I guess I could put this there. Let's see if that works. Yeah, I got that in there. And now let's see if we can put the backpack on. Yep, the backpack can still go on there, and it kind of is a little snug. You can see that from the back there. And I have all those pouches on him. So far, so good with all this gear. Then let's see, what are we going to do? We're going to try to put his ghillie suit back on him. I hope I can get it. I'm going to have to take some of this gear off to put the ghillie suit back, but I hope to do that. Let's see if I can do that. I'm going to leave the dog tags on. I'm going to take the Shimok and the helmet off. I'm going to put the ghillie suit back over all this pouches and everything. And then he also has a pouch on that as well. There. All right. So I got the ghillie suit over that there. And then we'll put the Shimok back on there. Put the helmet back on there. There. So you have the ghillie suit, helmet, Shimok, and all of his gear on him right there. So the only thing left to do is to pick a weapon. I think I'm going to pick this smaller weapon there because he's got a lot of gear on him already. So I'm going to leave off a lot of the other ones. But there's an opportunity for modularity. So you can have them at different positions. You can have multiples of these, and you can use the different heads, and you can have them in different positions, a squad out in the desert and stuff like that. These are characters that you could use for the green shirts for the classified in the desert scenario. If you wanted to do a desert scenario battle with like characters like Dusty and Desert Camo Snake Eyes, and possibly some things in the future for the desert environment to go along with this. But it's very, very cool. I would say you could probably swap Grunt's head onto this, and you would have a Grunt, a green shirt Grunt with this desert deco. I think it's really, really nice. There's a lot of really cool detail with it. In the boots, there's these rivets and stuff, and all these buckles, and all this stuff that's on the pant legs and stuff. I really like the realistic style that they give these figures, because this looks like it could really be a real infantry or whatever military person right now in the military. So we do have a lot of extra gear here. So these guys don't come with the weapons crates. So I'll have to just store his accessories aside for him. But I think I'm just going to leave him like this. I'm going to put him on his stand, and then we will be pretty much ready to go with this figure. These stands that these come with are a little loose. They don't really fit super snug with these anniversary figures. I've learned they fall a lot, and I've had to do some creative work on trying to get them to stay up with their stands. But initially they're all right, but then after a while they don't stay. So he has the butterfly shoulder articulation. He's got the double pinned elbows, double pinned knees. He's got the calf rocker articulation. He's got the crotch and leg articulations. He's got the foot rocker, the wrist articulation, the two wrist articulation. He does not have the secondary wrist here. He does have the secondary ankle articulation. He does have calf and thigh articulations, and the head rocker. So he's got almost all the articulation points, with the exception of the secondary wrist, which is a rare articulation point that not a lot of figures come with. Only a couple of those that we've come across thus far as we've been doing these reviews have had that. So there you go. I think this is a really, really nice update for the 60th anniversary Action Soldier. So the next one we have is the Marine, and I think they've really done a very good job with these. And then when we get into the Legacy, they have some really cool additions to the classified line in the Legacy as well. And I'm hoping when we get to the 2026 line that we get another Legacy, maybe a paramedic EMT paramedic, and then maybe I hope we can get into like the real military dress uniforms type costumes, and then we might be able to use those to put on figures' heads, like Hawk's head, Gung-Ho's head, and things like that. And because of the modulability of this line, that's how you can use a lot of these dress figures or uniforms for the classified figures. I think it would be the perfect way to include the main G.I. Joe classified line, the vintage G.I. Joe classified line, and kind of connect it to the Legacy. Similar to what I was suggesting with this Action Soldier, putting Grunt's head and make it a desert Grunt, or the diver, putting Shipwreck's head on it and making that a shipwreck diver. That type of stuff. I think it's very, very possible, and it's very, very doable with this style of swappable and modulability. That's just my 2 cents. What do you guys think? Do you guys like this line, the 60th anniversary? Do you see this really being able to connect to classified in the same way that I described? Or do you have another thought on it or more input on it besides what I'm saying? I'd like to hear your input on it. So let me know in the chat if you have any comments there. So I think that is going to do it. Other than we have the hands that are gloved hands. We have 2 other hands, so that includes that modulability. So you can swap out that head again to the African head, and you can make the African hands. So there's the darker hands on there. So you can make him an African person. And you can maybe make that Stalker. Maybe this guy could be Stalker underneath this, and you could use it for Stalker's head, because he also had the Shamak and stuff like that. So that could be a Stalker figure, and it could be a Grunt figure. You can have the 2 of them in that desert camo environment and field of battle with characters like Dusty and Snake Eyes. I think it makes sense. So I hope you guys enjoyed another 60th anniversary deep dive. I've been really enjoying these. We have one more to go for this, and then I'll probably do a larger video going over the whole 60th anniversary line and showing some specialty items and things like that from my collection that are part of the vintage line. And I also have some 12-inch and stuff like that. So maybe we'll be doing another video that'll be a complete 60th anniversary deep dive. It'll showcase the classified, the O-ring, Real American Hero, and maybe some 12-inch. And we'll do a little bit of a deep dive into this more than we are with these individual videos, because G.I. Joe is very important in the toy world, and having it be now going on 62 years is a very big thing. It was the boy equivalent of Barbie at the time, and so the term action figure was coined based around this toy line. There was no such thing as action figure at the time. There was always dolls. And then the people at Hasbro always said, we do not call these dolls, we call them action figures. And so that's where that term came from. And so I think it deserves a little bit bigger of a video. And I'll probably do that once we do all 4 of these, and I can showcase some more O-ring stuff and some more 12-inch stuff. And we'll do a nice video with that down the road. So we'll keep that in the back pocket for now until we get to that point. And then, so our next video is going to be a double review of 2 figures. We're going to jump the gun on one, and we're going to do another one so we can get to the figure after that, which is going to be a really cool figure. So I'm trying to do 2 figures in one so we can get to the next figure. But they are going to be vintage packaged or retro packaged figures, however you want to refer to them, 2 retro vintage package figures. So they're going to coincide together. And then the next one is going to be a phenomenal video after that. So we're going to have a couple of really fun videos coming up before Christmas. Leading up to Christmas, I will be off for Christmas Eve and Christmas, and we will resume doing classified reviews after Christmas. So it'll be a few days. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful Christmas season so far. I hope it's not too stressful, and I hope you have a wonderful time with your families and so on and so forth. And however you term your families, blended or regular or whatever family you deem is your family. So I think that's going to do it for this episode. We will be doing a 2025 top 10 video after Christmas, sometime between New Year's and Christmas. And so look forward to that. And I think that's going to cover it. I want to say thanks to everybody in the chat, and thank you for commenting and adding to the conversation and being involved with this chat. I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, after the fact, watching on the replay crew. I really appreciate it. You guys are great there as well. And this is a really big 60th anniversary Joe video, so we're going to go with Yo Joe. See you guys next time.